One officer now patrols the Baltimore waterfront. Another works with the unit that polices the city in helicopters. A third officer, now a detective, investigates powerful drug rings. Today, all 6 officers who were charged in the arrest and death of Freddie Gray case are back on duty. None are back to patrolling the streets of West Baltimore, where Gray was arrested in 2015 and suffered a severe injury in the back of a police van. They were offered positions outside the patrol division, and they're satisfied with their assignments, said Michael Davey, the attorney for the union that represents Baltimore police officers. All they wanted to do was serve. Gray died in April 2015 after suffering a severe spinal cord injury in a police van. Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby brought criminal charges against the 6 officers ranging from misconduct in office to second-degree murder. 3 officers were acquitted, and Mosby dropped all remaining charges against the other 3. 5 of the officers then faced administrative charges within the police department for allegedly violating department rules and policies and neglecting their duties. 2 accepted minor discipline and returned to duty. 2 fought the charges and were acquitted by police trial boards. Police Commissioner Kevin Davis then dropped charges against the last of the 5. The Harlem Park alley near where Baltimore homicide death. Sean Suter was shot last week stood quiet, empty and cold on Thanksgiving afternoon. No armored vehicles, no cameras. No crime scene tape. A solitary police cruiser drove slowly up the 900 block of Bennett Place as the afternoon gave way. The Harlem Park alley near where Baltimore homicide death. Sean Suter was shot last week stood quiet, empty and cold on Thanksgiving afternoon. No armored vehicles, no cameras. No crime scene tape. A solitary police cruiser drove slowly up the 900 block of Bennett Place as the afternoon gave way. Sergeant Alicia White received the phone call on the night before Thanksgiving. By Monday, she was fully reinstated. She kept saying, "The nightmare's over. I can't believe the nightmare's over," said Tony Garcia, her attorney. White was a newly minted sergeant in the Western District when Gray was arrested. She now works in the Strategic Services Bureau, a new unit that coordinates policy, officer training, and discipline. Lieutenant Brian Rice, the highest-ranking officer charged, now works in the crime lab, which collects and processes evidence. Officer Caesar Goodson Jr., the driver of the van in which Gray was injured, now works in the City Watch unit, which monitors surveillance cameras across the city. Officer Edward Nero, who arrived at the scene shortly after Gray's arrest and helped place him in the back of the police van, was one of the officers who accepted minor discipline. He now works in the department's aviation unit, which runs the helicopter patrols. Officer Garrett Miller, who initially arrested Gray, was the other officer who accepted minor discipline. He now works in the Marine Unit, which polices the city's waterfront and waterways. Officer William Porter, who was called to check on Gray and found him unconscious, is now a detective, working alongside federal agents to investigate drug trafficking.